Meet Stu. I hope you never find yourself in Stu's situation, asking, why can't I just find someone who finds me attractive? But if you do, I'm here to help. Let's start with the basics. What makes people attracted to one another? Physical attractiveness, propinquity, familiarity, similarity, reciprocity, and secrecy. Don't worry, we're going to take things one factor at a time. In reality, propinquity is just a fancy word for proximity. And basically, all it means is that we like those who are physically close to us. In fact, it's the best predictor of whether or not we'll be friends with someone. The next factor is familiarity. And this all has to do with something called the mere exposure effect, which means that we find something more attractive when we have more exposure to it. I swear there's a connection between these things. Remember that stuff we said about living close to someone? Well, if you're physically situated in a position, say in an office, like by the stairs, you're going to have the most familiar face, so people are going to like you more. So everyone knows the age-old question, do birds of a feather flock together or do opposites attract? The answer? It depends. Familiarity is the next factor. Basically, we like people who share interests, attitudes, values, backgrounds, and personalities with us. This holds true for both friendships and romantic relationships. So this is actually true genetically too. Friends have closer DNA than strangers do. So the last thing I want to mention is that the similarity can be real or perceived. Individuals' beliefs about how similar they are to another person predicts liking and attraction better than actual similarity does. Let's revisit this question. Remember, do birds of a feather flock together or do opposites attract? Well, after all this stuff about similarity, opposites do indeed attract one another, but only for short-term relationships. The next factor of attractiveness is reciprocity. This one's kind of simple. Kind of. Basically, we like people who like us, even if we just think that they like us. This has something to do with the self-fulfilling prophecy. Fulfilling prophecy, which says that we act more likable to those whom we think like us, and they in turn like us for liking them, is behind reciprocity. But it too depends. High self-esteem moderates this effect, whereas low self-esteem says the opposite. The next factor of attractiveness is secrecy. There's actually been a study done by Wagner, Lane, and Dimitri in '94, which found that people who played footsie secretly under the table were more likable than those who made it known. The last thing we're going to talk about is physical attractiveness. Although seemingly self-explanatory, comes from two theories. One says that being with an attractive person may enhance our self-image. The other one says that because of evolution, it's a clue to good health and reproductive business. Recap. There was physical attractiveness, propinquity, familiarity, similarity, reciprocity, and secrecy.
Created using Powtoon.